room one. How about room one? Like to share with Xiong, Ray, Zing. Any one of you like to share the challenge, one challenge, and one how you overcome it, and did you practice pair programming? Any volunteers from room one? Anyone?
I will volunteer. We did not practice pair programming as we are in remote condition, right? Or we can't see each other progress and stuff like, and people don't share where's their progress, so we are not synchronized.
Okay, got it. And what is the challenge, Zinc? Maybe I mean in terms of these test case creations or implementing, which is the most difficult? What do you encounter?
I don't understand your question.
So it is how many test cases have you implemented?
I mean, for individual wise, I think most of us implemented everything.
Wow, that's great. Okay, thank you, Zing. Thank you for volunteering for room one. That is interesting. So that is remote, right? Remote pair programming is one of the tasks because it's not through screen. And if do the discussions also, everyone need to wait for their turn to suggest. And the main driver, right? It is a pilot be the one have a more. So it is without two screen. That is tough, but I think still can manage to do pair programming if you want. But however, yeah, I understand there is a difficulties. How about the room two? Janice, Kia Kai, and Yi Xiong. Any one of you like to share thoughts? Yeah, Kai.
I think for our team, how we try to do pair programming is by I think one person share screen and then everyone try to chime in like what to type out or what stuff like basically just everyone contributing to the coding process, looking at one person's screen. Then
that's fantastic. Yeah. So is there any difficulties I mean with the one person only sharing screen, right? How many test cases have you able to clear out? Is it all you can complete all the test cases, make it pass?
Yeah, we just managed to complete all before the time ran out. But I think the difficulty was initially at the beginning trying to like figuring out how to start the implementation process. I think once we got that, we slowly try to understand how like which functions to do first. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Fantastic. Okay. So I also observe, right? Let me some of you may be having integrated with the IDE a little bit, so some delay is happened because of this. I understand. So if that's why it is I say if you have an issue on this, maybe you can follow the Eclipse instructions quickly, or you can try and but based on this some delays, right? You might not be able to complete all the test cases, but don't worry. That is not the point because in that case also I encourage some of groups to discuss over the solution that I gave to you all. So that is where you can understand it, and I will spend time to explain how I approach this, right? I understand, right? Purely from my lecture notes that I go through, not easy to relate with you to do this exercise. I know it's quite challenging because there is quite a lot of understanding you need to do, especially from this point hash map things that is I do. I say that it is quite a lot of built-in method like something like this. I need to reuse it in my implementation in the main body, so that is our life is a lot easier. Okay, so but the again, of course, right, with the time limitations, and there is some understanding need to need to take time to understand it. I understand some difficulties. Room 3, any volunteers from room 3? Room 3 is Mun Chuan, Atmun, and Chaya Priya. Yeah, so any one of you would like to share one challenge? Okay, Mun Chuan.
I think our team initially had some difficulties getting the project to run first. Like we got issues with, because we on our side we do not have Eclipse, we only have IntelliJ and VS Code, so we have some issues setting up the project.
Yeah.
And then another one is when we implement the test case, we are not sure whether or not it is the correct way of testing it or not.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for sharing, Jack. Yeah, absolutely. This test case, right? How much test case is enough? For example, the simple one like add task in the to-do list, right? You can check many things, right? Firstly, you can check whether the one that sit inside in the to-do list is the one that you same one. That is the ideal situation that I put in the solution. Of course, you can do checking the number of the tasks inside in the to-do list. That is another way also. And you can add in and remove it, right? And that kind of things, you will also add another task. Then you will see checking again another the additional one. But that is not necessary. That's why most of the test cases I put is what I think is the most necessary. And I also explain, right, in the to-do list, maybe I show you with the code, right? Okay, so over here, the answer, this is a solution that I have. So a lot of people say I do the test case. When I test at the task and do the implementation, that is still all right. But when I want to test it out, how many number of a task inside in the to-do list, I put it 1 and I make it short. Then people say, hey, then this one, have you ever tested out or not? How should I assume that this is reliable? Then let's look at this. How did we come out with this get all the task? So how do we make it this get all task implement? In here, you need to implement this to run this case. If you want to test it out, the number of tasks inside in the to-do list, right? So if you want to test it out, you need to implement this get all tasks. But if you do this, then I will say my argument is I don't need to test because I know that this is from my hash map built-in methods. So I just call values. That's it. Then I just call the size, the number of tasks inside. That's why I can verify with the 1, and once I put the test 1. There's a one scenario for this test case. And another scenario is why I put here the value. Okay, the value is the task, right? I mentioned also, right? The value is the task. So you need to pay attention on this. The value in these instructions, the value itself, no, is test object itself. Key is test description. So you need to know this. So in this case, I just compare equal object and object. So this is come out with what? Object. Because this get task is a getter, right? It is already over here. Get there. So you need to implement this. So to run this use case alone, you need to implement how many? This one, right? So this is where, again, you can get from where the hash map built-in, right? So these two hash map built-in methods, I feel like I don't need to test. Once I give you in this method, right, I give a key, which is descriptions, it will be able to return the particular task. So that I can compare. So these tests alone to run, you need to implement 3 methods inside. In 3 methods, 2 methods that it is get all tests and get tests, you don't need to test it because I use a basic method. Only I need to test it is add test. Then from add by right, you don't need to do also because you are using the additional, not the extra method, you built in method. But however, here you want to check this test case you need to test because whatever you put inside, you need to align with the what you have put inside. So I will go and explain all details again, but it's in the between. I just I have a chance that is to explain slowly. So between the your sharing, right, I will explain this whole solution part by part. Okay, so now is a room for any one of you have a challenge, and Andres, so and Jianjun, Jianjie, and Mandaline. So any volunteers, don't worry. Based on these kind of solutions, right? What challenge do you found it among your group? Yeah, Andres, yes. Yes, yes. No worry. No worry. Okay. Yes, yes. I see. Yes. No worry, Andres. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing, Andres. Yeah, exactly. But the concept here it is right. I know there is a technical. It is later through practice, through experience, you will enhance it. But the logic of here is how we create these test cases, how we go through this logic, right? Like just now, at task. How many test cases you feel like for this test case, right? How many scenario should be enough? That is not easy, I will tell you. And also, you need to line by implementation is case by case. What it is dependency, least dependency among all. So that is also actually, this is a very simple, I would say, is in terms of comparing your project that is you will come across later. But yet, this is very fundamental. Whatever you see this logic flow, right, is this test cases I arrange. That is, I want you to arrange the test cases in your project as well. So it is a least dependency, and you go into the most complicated, which is eventually it is a get complete test. This it is, I would say, the most complicated is it will test its most of our test cases all together. Because to get this complete test, you need to add, you need to remove, you need to check, you need to make sure it's set complete. You need to check is complete or not. Every single thing that is you want to implement, right? It is over here. So that's why it is, I purposely leave it down there. So, but in your the template that I give you, that is not, I already arranged it. So if you go from on top and the end, right? It is not that complicated. It's a flow is there, but in your actual work, you need to make it this. Of course, sometimes it is you're not sure. Then never mind. Then just try your best to do this as implement in that based on the test cases. No problem. But anyway, let's hear from another team. Room 5. Any one of you volunteer? Chung Hao, Taufik, okay, Xing Han. Any volunteers? Any challenge?
Yeah, so I can volunteer for room 5.
Yeah, thank
So I
you.
think the main challenge is to decide what to assert in each of the test cases. Yeah.
I see. So this deciding what accession cell, right? It
Yeah.
is okay. Thank you for sharing. Jun. Yeah, indeed, right? Actually, there is a lot of ways you can do it, right? Here, accession equal. Like I say, if I want to do the checking not value, checking the key, which is description, you can do also, right? So a lot of freedoms you can do, and also, of course, some dependency, right? Here again, you're not sure it is really your infrastructure is really robust enough to rely. That's why I purposely make it this hash map uh, uh, objects to leverage. If not, right, life would be a lot difficult. Again, test case creation is based on understanding of your project requirement and your experience you need to create. And through the discussion within team members, this will be awesome. Because once you create this test case ready, you verify with product owner, hey, this is you think enough or not. You can verify, no problem, because they know that it is what is the most important thing to capture. But right, like I say, we create the safety net, and safety net cannot have a hole. Right? Once you have it, then your safety net is not reliable. Okay, so but again, this is through the teamwork and discussions and communications, you can improve it. Don't you worry. So team number room 5, any one of you would like to share? Audrey, Austin, Kelvin. Anyone?
Hi, I can share.
Yeah, thank you, Kelvin.
So for our team, well, initially we didn't know how to start because this is a new testing way in Java because we didn't have really strong fundamentals in Java. So that
Okay.
was how
Yes,
most of
yes.
us got stuck at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no worries. Okay. So that is a main challenge. So it's a language. Okay, got it. Okay. I hope that this it is you can learn and you can apply in other C# or whatever, right? JavaScript. If you want to do for your project, I think same approach you can do as well. Okay, for the unit testing. Thank you. Room 7, Jack, Runchi, or Nikos. Any one of you would like to share the challenge you encounter?
Hi.
I
Yeah, so I can share. So for my group, we were focusing more on add tasks as well as remove tasks. And one of the difficulty that we faced was understanding more about hash maps. So
okay.
under get all tasks, we went to the body and we had to understand how does hash map work. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much for sharing. Yeah, indeed. I saw that is some group previous class straight away after I brief about a workshop, they open this hash map in methods and stuff. So that's why in my instructions also I added in some of the big method I use it. Of course, right? If for you, if you're first time seeing, you will not be able to understand what exactly this. But definitely, right? It is you need to understand this to utilize in your body. So definitely, thank you for sharing, Ranji. Yeah, that Rauchi, sorry. Yeah. So this is one of things that is you guys need to take note. Room number 8. Anyone? Yushin, Dayu, and Alango Heron.
Yeah, okay. So for our group, we didn't have much challenge, except for like after we implement, then we were thinking how do we check the code? How do we run the code? Then after that, you came in to say that we need to download some extensions.
Yes.
After that, we will.
Okay, then there is not much. Okay, thank you, Heron. So that is IDE setup. So it should be all right. But again, that's why also I say VS Code is getting more popular. Until Microsoft throw away their virtual. Yeah, this is the setup. So what I'm trying to say, it is a lot easier to set up easily. Yeah, I hope that it is. If you want to do in the IntelliJ, hopefully you can set up with the Java JDK that you install in your machine, then can configure accordingly. I'm sorry that I cannot help you with the setup for this IntelliJ, because mine is, they ask copy the setting of Eclipse. I say yes, then the whole setup is automatically done from IntelliJ. So it's IntelliJ very smart as well. So yeah, okay. Room 9, any challenge you'd like to share? Derek, Gabriel, and Jai. Any one of you?
Hello.
Yes, Derek. Thank you.
So one of us shared screen just now, then we just work together to discuss like what can we do for the to-do list Java file, and work a little bit on the to-do list test Java also.
I see.
But I didn't manage to test yet, so don't know whether it's working or not.
Okay, Ken. Okay, so thanks for sharing that. So later part, right, in the day tomorrow, you may need to use this to-do list again. So you use your own developed one, or you use the solution that I share. Later I go through the solution so that you understand what's going on. So they anything with the integration part, right? Any things that is you purposely make it wrong and you want to reflect in the test report, you can do so also. Okay, no issue. Yeah. Room number 10. Okay, Min Chan, Veron, and Weibin. Any one of you like to share the challenge and any pair programming? Yeah. So I also just now didn't ask. So any volunteers? How do you guys do for this group?
We didn't manage to really complete the task because we are struggling to figure out which IDE to use initially.
Yeah, no problem.
Referring to a site to see like how to best start from there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Weibin. So it is the challenge is some setup challenge, and I hope that it is you can configure accordingly in your preferred IDE. Hopefully this is not much challenge for you guys. It's Java, some because of a language also, right? You maybe you never use or you seldom use a Java, so it's an issue. So with the pair programming, that is why I say I can help each other. Yeah, it's any one of you in the group have more familiar with the language, then can set up and lead the discussions also. But that is one of our goal. And yeah, I maybe continue because later I need to go through the solution again. Rule number 11, Aaron, Zach, and Janai. Any?
For Rule 11, I think the greatest challenge is pretty similar to others, like trying to get IntelliJ to run the unit test, the test add task. Yeah, but so we went to do it in VS Code instead and install the extension pack, and we managed to run it now. Yeah.
Great.
And the next challenge would be to know what to test. So we also look at the solutions and realize that for test add task, we need to test on like whether it's empty or not, and we need to test whether we need to compare between the object and the object that's inside the to-do list. Yeah. Then also for the hatchback part, we were not very sure about it, and so we don't know what key to put in. So I think based on my guess would be to put the task get description, the string as the key of the hatchback.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for sharing, Jen. That is quite a good sharing. Yeah, indeed, right? It is individually the tolerance of understanding that hash might take times, and also, of course, right, applying insight in the body is another. So even here, right, is a complete task. I make it sure, right, it is the task that is passed from this key, right, by the descriptions itself. It cannot be now. So this is where I make sure also the task that is with the description cannot be the no value, meaning is that object must be there, right? So this is called out to make sure, okay, whatever based on the key I retrieve the object is not now, then I will try to make it complete. You see that it is, I need to take it all these precautions that make sure that it's whatever the task that is want me to change your status to complete, I make it sure there is a value or there is the object is there. So only that confirmation then I set to true. If not, I don't. So then again, this is you may be, you know, because of a time limit, because I have my own sweet time to create all this. So I have a lot. So for you, it's very limited time. You know, you straight away, you can think and did this level. Definitely, that is brilliant. But of course, right, when you do implementations for this get status and, you know, complete task, you need to do these kind of precautions to make sure that is whatever you get it, right, the key that you get, you have a value. Okay, thank you. Room 12, any volunteers? Ariat, Anisha, or Kevin, any one of you like to share your thoughts or challenge? Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, for room 12, we just had a slow start because we are unsure of how to start. Yeah, because we are new to this also. So each of us just put in effort and also just continue from there on. Then I think we managed to test all of it.
Oh, great.
Yeah. It's just we just didn't know that we need to import some of the import functions at the top. Yeah. Then not much challenges afterwards.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Kevin, for room 12. How about room 13? Any volunteer? Taufik, Sabir, and Wei Ran.
Yeah, so for room 13, we at the start we only have trouble towards in the making sure that the functions are doing the right task. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So after that, during the test, we only managed to do 3 out of 4, but it's because we didn't have much time. But we know how to do the last one also lah, the get completed task.
That's great. That's great. Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you for sharing, Taufik. That is interesting. How about the last room 14? Any one of you can, Chiwi or
Okay. Hello. Yeah. So actually, since we are 2 people, it's easier for us to do the paired programming. So we just share each other's understanding of the code at the start first. Once we had a rough understanding of the code, then we started to implement on one person's screen because the person will share screen.
Okay.
So the only problem we have was just the initial setup and the importing of the project itself to IntelliJ. Yeah. Then after that, it was okay. But we did miss out on a couple of test cases. But
I see.
Yeah, but that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. For room 14, okay, I think it is. Thanks a lot for all the team effort and in the workshop. I will go through quickly how I did this insight in the solution side. It is a very like I mentioned just now, part by part. I mentioned already. For you first thing that it is you see here, and you need to make sure that test picture is created, because you may need to use the same descriptions and the task list that is you created throughout these test cases. So inside in this class, all the test cases can rely on the task that you created from the very beginning. You can, so it is for this case, you can declare everything upfront, okay? And also you in the setup, you just created, this is a description, this is a you create the object, right? For task 1, task 2, task 3, and to-do list. This is very important. If you create this to-do list already, then you can you're good to go. Okay, so you can start this to-do list by okay, so these objects are small, so I didn't throw away anything, but it is in the future that it's a good practice to clear out everything. Okay, so firstly, test the add task. I think it's I explained already. I need to implement in the body 3 things, which is add task, get all tasks, and get tasks. So I need to put this. I need to use the built-in method put. I need to use this get task get. Okay, and also I need to use get all tasks. It is valued. So to check the size. So this is a very, I just now explained already. But the second one, and then get the status. But since here I will say that it's a purposely I add in the new task. By right, it should not be complete, right? If complete, then something is wrong, because I make it purposely for whatever new task, right? You add in will be false, isn't it? So this is again, you need to see this one, right? So every time you create it, therefore it's false. Okay, so in this case, if you have this, you will be purposely need to ask add the task, and you will equal this Boolean value, right? The therefore value is false. This should be false. And then you will also check purposely you need to complete it. So you need to implement what? Complete. So then you go this complete in the body, and you make sure it is now, and then you will say this is assigned if this description, the key is there for the value. So the value assigned to task, which is object is the task. Okay, just now task 1 is inside in the task. So this is task 1, set complete. Again, set complete is there. It is another method you need to take care. Then you will set, but this one, right, it is already in the task, so you don't need, it is all the tasks under the task class. So you change the status to true, and you're okay. So all these tasks, it is fine, no problem. So 2 task case is gone. Another is remove. So remove task case, I purposely make it at 2. Why? I want to make it sure that is I remove, this is removed according to the key that I pass. So the key, or here, this one, I task, add the task in this to-do list. The key is description 1, the task description. This key I pass to remove task. Then should be remove this object, right? And then in that case, I need to go and see this remove task. Then in this remove task, simple, right? I need to remove based on the description, which is key. Again, this is a hash map. So I just call hash map remove based on the key description. Then it will be removed. That specific task will be removed. So this case, 2 tasks inside, task 1 removed. Then we will check whether, right, whether task, okay, the null or not, if I purposely call by the key value for the task 1, description 1. By right, should be null. So in this case, it will be assessed null. Of course, right, you can do that is checked by the description itself, right? It is, you can do also. Okay. Of course, this is where the comparing equal with the object. Okay, so this is only one task is inside. Then we call this discussion key value, you compare these two key and value, objects, two objects, and equal, no issue. And the same thing, this is all the things that it is inside. Some of these, I make it complete, some of these, I'm not. So purposely 1 and 3 is completed, the rest is not. So in running, to able to run this, you need to implement here. So implement here, you need to create a new array list or the hash map you want to do, up to you. You can create the collections, and then you will try to put only the complete task. So you check that it's complete or not. True, then you add in. Not, do nothing. Right? Then the whole thing you pass back. So this is again, you need to do inside in a body, and then that will be purposely 1 and 3 is complete, and you check 4. Right? 1 is whatever inside should be only 1, which is whatever inside is only 2. 1 and 3. Right? This is a number of a task inside. Then this is, we will say the task is complete or not, must return true. This is because it's complete or not. So this is eraser. Again, you see, this is I call to make use of the collections. The collections one. This case is array list. If you're using hash map, this is a hash. But whatever in the content, you check whether, if you're using hash map, of course, you can just get, and the description you compare this object to, or access true to access false. You can do something like this also can. Yeah, this is not fixed to this. I would say that this solution is not ideal. I would say these solutions that I suggest that it is would be help you to understand. So you don't worry if you are not proficiency in this Java. No worry. This is the concept is how you create a test case, how you make sure this test case is reflect for requirement to make sure this safety net is enough for you to capture if anything wrong, right? You will be able to capture. At the same time, right, you see your code, that implementation, very, very clean. See, right? It's because you line by case by case you implement that. Code duplication is a minimum, I would say minimum, because this is also simple case. Okay, so it's more long methods. You will see inside in the refactoring exercise, you will see a little bit more complicated. Then you need to do the refactoring. That it is the next sessions I will share with you all. Okay. With this, any questions? I will stop for a while. Any questions? You can let me know. If you really want to clarify with me, do drop me the email, or after the class you can ask me also if you want. Okay, and right now is if you have, and you can share in the Zoom chat. Yeah. Okay. So right now, if don't have, we go for lunch break. We will get back 1:30. We will go refactoring lecture, and then the workshop for the refactoring a little bit more compact. Right? It is a lecture and refactoring workshop. I would say that it's quite easy. I found that it's a previous class from the NCS group. They found it's quite easy, so I don't think it's a challenging part. And also, of course, right, you are already set up for a Java project, so should not be an issue. But anyway, we will do workshop at the same manner with the group project as a group of 3, and we will do some sharing after the workshop, and of course I will go through the solution answer also. Please try to refrain from seeing the answer straight away that I share in the all this refactoring as well, because that will be affect your learning. Okay. Okay. So I think it's I stop here, and please, do drop me a message if you want to clarify, and come back to the class 1:30. Okay. I will write in the chat also. Okay, thank you. See you.